Jealousy can destroy friendships. Here with the reasons why we feel this way and solutions to get through it and maybe past it is Dr. Karyn Gordon. Jealousy. We hear about it all the time, and it's not a great way to live.
Doesn't feel good.
It doesn't feel good. Jealousy, envy, all of these things, they fuel a lot of negativity. So we want to talk about them within friendships.
Yes, and the new term is called frienvy.
Frienvy.
Woo-hoo! We are learning new language here on Cityline. Frienvy.
Frienvy.
I had never heard of this before doing the segment, and you had it.
No, me neither. I've heard of frenemies. I haven't heard of frienvy, but it makes sense.
It's like, you know, language is so fascinating, right? Because it just keeps on evolving. So basically, frienvy is when we are jealous of our friends or we have envy towards our friends.
Right.
Okay, so we're going to be talking about that. And so, but the first thing I want to do is I want to find out how many of us can really relate to it. Yeah. We're just going to be kind of in our nice vulnerable place that we have here. So we've got a few true and false questions. Do you want to do them? Or
okay, sure. Okay, just shout out if this is true or false for you. You have envied a friend when you were in elementary or high school. True.
Yes.
Definitely been there.
Yes.
True. Yeah, for sure. You have envied a friend as an adult. True.
Wow, right?
You have had a friend tell you that they envied you. True.
Wow.
So we've all been there.
So we've all been there. Isn't that interesting?
And I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all, actually.
Yes.
It's really what you do with it.
It's totally with what you do with it, and it's understanding it and being honest about it.
Right.
Okay, nothing is worse than kind of keeping things like secret and kind of boxing in. That's when I think it can really kind of take over.
That's right.
Right? So just to kind of like a little bit of some like, just so we can really understand it, Psychology Today actually says jealousy can destroy friendship. This is no big surprise. It can destroy friendship. It's a lot of times linked with low self-esteem. One of the most interesting things I found, and I love, and we were talking about this backstage, I love prepping for these segments because I've been doing this for a long time, but sometimes it's just nice to choose a topic and just do a little bit of a deep dive.
Yes.
And I had never really thought about what's the difference between envy and jealousy.
Yeah, this is interesting.
This is, right? So envy is about stuff. And it's about, I want what you have.
Yeah, I want all your shoes. I want your big house.
I want your cottage. I want your car, right? I want that.
Yes.
I want your job. But jealousy is actually about relationship, and it's about usually third party.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, so why are you friends with her when I used to be your friend?
So you're now hanging out with Alex, but now I'm kind of getting left out.
That's right.
So it's more about relation. Isn't that fascinating?
That is.
Yeah.
And it happens a lot. I mean, my daughter's 8 for crying out loud, and it's already started. It's already started with the so-and-so's not talking to me at recess. And I'm like, oh my gosh, here we go.
It's like reliving our childhood all over again.
Yes, I went through it. Now she's going through it, and it's like you have to learn how to navigate and how to be okay with being by yourself, and like just having to sort of ride those waters. So let's talk a little bit about how it can impact a friendship.
Yes, let's talk about how it impacts and then also what we can do about it.
Yes.
So again, this is probably no big surprise, but there's 3 major ways of really how it impacts friendship. The first thing is that usually where people actually withdraw. So they don't say anything. They're going to be passive aggressive, and if all of a sudden if I'm envy, I don't like how I'm feeling. I'm just going to, I'm not going to contact you anymore. I'm not going to kind of withdraw. Number 2 is I'm going to become very competitive with you.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to see this for sure be very competitive. And the third one is destruction, where people really are putting somebody down. Like they're mean. The intent is mean.
And have you ever been in a situation where someone's just doing the jabs? Jabs.
Oh, yeah, for
jabs. Like little things.
Yes.
Like stuff you can't even really put your finger on because it's so petty.
Yes.
And then you start thinking to yourself, oh, is that a jab or is it? And then it takes many of them for you to come to the conclusion that something's wrong with our communication right now.
And it's usually like a gut reaction going, it's like, ooh, I don't like how that feels. And one of the things, you know, we've done a lot of work and talks around emotion management on this, this segment. And that's one of the things I really think it's important that we talk about is that we pay attention when we're like, ooh, I don't like how that feels. It's a gut reaction saying something is actually off. And so a lot of times it's underneath it, okay? It's what's actually happening underneath it. And it's not a good feeling. And I think one of the cool things as we're talking about this is that we've all really experienced it. This is something that's a really shared experience.
Definitely.
That we a lot of times actually don't talk about.
But what do we do?
Yes.
I mean, if you are the envious one or the jealous one, what do you do? If you are the person that is the target of the jealousy and the envy, what do you do?
So let's talk about first if we're the person that actually is the one that feels it.
Yeah.
Okay. There's 3 main solutions. Number 1, really focus on gratitude. There's something so powerful, and we hear about gratitude, and we hear, you know, we've got gratitude apps, and there's all these different kind of resources, but there is something so powerful about it.
It's real.
It's real, because if I am envious of you, I'm not thankful for all the things that are happening in my life.
That's right.
Because the core of actually envy is discontent.
Yes.
So I'm now discontent with my own life, and I want what you have. I'm not going to be thankful for all this stuff.
Right.
I'm just going to focus on things that I actually don't have instead of the things that I do have.
You're so right.
And so it puts us in this horrible, mental, toxic space that we feel envy, and we feel icky and gross and insecure, and then how that affects our communication and everything. And the second thing, very quickly, is stay in your own lane. Stop comparing yourself to anybody else.
It's so hard.
Really?
It's so hard. You got to do it.
It is wasted energy. It's wasted energy, and it doesn't do anything.
Right.
So we got to start focusing on, like, and then we can celebrate with other people, all right? Then we can celebrate. We got to stay in our own lane and be grateful for the things that are happening in our own life.
Yeah, because you have a lot going on. Sometimes you just don't realize it.
Absolutely.
You have a lot to be grateful for. Thank you, Dr. Karyn Gordon.